Hello guys, welcome back. So let's start with a new topic, that is arterial supply of the lower limb. But before moving on with the main topic, I have to tell you something about the dorsal surface of the foot and the plantar surface. Okay, in the previous videos I have many a times used this word dorsal surface of the foot and plantar surface, and I have tried explaining you in words, but now I have added the picture of it so that you will understand it more clearly. Okay, so this left hand side picture which you see, this is called as dorsal surface of the foot. What it is called as dorsal surface of foot. And the sole of the foot which you are seeing, the sole of the foot, in medical terms, it is called as plantar surface. What it is called as plantar surface. So do remember what is dorsal surface and what is plantar surface, because it is important when we are doing the blood supply of lower limb. Okay, it's important in arterial supply as well as in venous supply. So now let's start with the arterial supply. So first of all, we'll start with the common iliac artery. But before that, when we were doing arc of aorta, I told you the parts of aorta, right? The ascending aorta, the arc of aorta, the descending aorta. I told you the descending aorta will go into the abdomen and supply the abdomen. So when it enters the abdomen, we call it as abdominal aorta. What do we call it as? Abdominal aorta. Now this abdominal aorta, write down, abdominal aorta, further when it crosses the navel, okay, after it crosses the navel, it becomes the common iliac artery. What it will turn into? It will turn into common iliac artery. So write down abdominal aorta turns into common iliac artery. Now this common iliac artery will get divided into external iliac artery, which will go into your lower limb, and internal iliac artery, which will supply the pelvic area, the organ situated there, okay, the muscle situated there. So right now we are learning about the lower limb, right? So which artery should we focus more on? The external iliac artery. So this external iliac artery, once it crosses inguinal ligament, we call this artery as femoral artery. So write down, it becomes femoral artery. What does it become? It becomes femoral artery. Okay. Now what is this inguinal ligament? This inguinal ligament, write down, it is a ligament that connects the anterior superior iliac spine, with pubic tubercle. So when we were doing the pelvic bones, I told you to remember both these terms. So I hope now you know the reason why I told you to remember, right? This anterior superior iliac spine was present on the ilium bone, right? And this pubic tubercle is present on the pubic bone. So this ligament will connect these two. Okay, so once this external iliac artery will cross the inguinal ligament, we will call this artery as femoral artery. Okay, let's move further. This femoral artery, write down, this femoral artery will enter into femoral triangle, where it will enter into femoral triangle. We have separate video for this femoral triangle. We will be doing this in detail, but for now just remember that will enter into the femoral artery and give a branch. And what it will do? And give a branch. Now what is the name of the branch? Let's look at it. So the branch name is deep femoral artery. What it will give? Deep femoral artery. Now this deep femoral artery, write down, it is also known as deep thigh artery. What it is known as? Deep thigh artery. What happens? Sometimes there is a problem with the femoral artery. Okay, so the blood flow should stop, right, in the lower limb. But what happens is the blood flow is maintained because of this deep thigh artery. So write down a note regarding it. Any problem in femoral artery doesn't stop blood circulation in lower limb. LL is lower limb, okay, because of deep thigh artery. Because of which artery? Because of deep thigh artery. So remember this note, please. Now this femoral artery gave the branch deep femoral artery. Okay, then it will enter into adductor canal. Okay, it will enter into adductor canal, which ends at adductor hiatus. So it will enter into adductor canal, and through adductor hiatus it will once more come out and supply to the lower limb. Okay, now what is this adductor hiatus, or where it is situated? Write down, hiatus means opening, right? So it is situated at opening of adductor magnus. Situated at opening of adductor magnus. Okay. So femoral artery, till now what we have studied? We have studied that common iliac artery will give off two branches, external iliac artery and the internal iliac artery. This external iliac artery, once it crosses the inguinal ligament, it becomes your femoral artery. A femoral artery in the femoral triangle will give an important branch, which is deep femoral artery. It will work and maintain the blood supply in the lower limb if there is any problem with the femoral artery. Okay, then this femoral artery further will go into adductor canal, and this adductor canal will end at adductor hiatus. Okay, so what is adductor hiatus? It is situated at the opening of the adductor magnus. Okay, so femoral artery will come out of the adductor canal through adductor hiatus and go into the posterior compartment. Okay, write down, and goes into posterior compartment. Where it goes? It goes into posterior compartment and at knee in the posterior compartment, that means behind the knee joint, in the popliteal fossa, will become, write down, will become popliteal artery. What it will become? It will become popliteal artery. Now what is this popliteal fossa? This popliteal fossa, write down, it is a diamond shaped fossa. It is a diamond shaped fossa at the posterior surface of knee joint. Okay, so now you know the position of popliteal fossa. There the femoral artery will become the popliteal artery. Okay, now this popliteal artery will divide into two branches for lower leg. Write down, for lower leg. Till now we have done the thigh. Okay, what we have done? We have done the thigh part. So who is the main artery in the thigh? Femoral artery. So write down this important point regarding femoral artery, that it supplies thigh along with few other branches. I have written here the main arteries and main points which are related to Croc. So there are few more arteries, femoral circumflex arteries and many more, but that's not important. So this femoral artery will supply your thigh part along with other branches. Write this point. Now we are moving on with the lower leg. Okay, till thigh we know the arterial supply. So this popliteal artery, as I said, that it will divide into two branches. So I'll write down the two branches. First is anterior tibial artery. What it is? Anterior tibial artery. And another branch is tibioperoneal trunk. Tibioperoneal trunk. Okay, now this tibioperoneal trunk will further divide into two. You can see in its word, right? Tibioperoneal. That means it will divide into posterior tibial artery and peroneal artery. Okay, so this popliteal artery was present at which side of our leg? It was present on the posterior side. So this tibioperoneal trunk is present on the posterior side. This branch of popliteal artery will come to the anterior side of your leg and give off the branch anterior tibial artery. Okay, write down about this anterior tibial artery now. It supplies anterior compartment of lower leg. Now anterior compartment of lower leg, what do I mean by this? All the muscles which we have done in the anterior compartment of lower leg will be supplied by anterior tibial artery. Okay, for posterior tibial artery, write down, this will supply posterior compartment of leg. Supply posterior compartment of leg. Now the last compartment which is remaining in the leg is which one? Lateral compartment. So peroneal artery, it is also known as fibular artery. What it is also known as? Fibular artery. I have said this before also. Whenever you see the term peroneal, instead of peroneal, you can also write it as fibular. Okay. Sorry. This anterior tibial artery further will turn into in the foot. Write down, goes in the foot and become dorsalis pedis artery. Now dorsalis pedis artery, its English translation will be, dorsalis is dorsal surface of the foot, pedis means foot. Okay, so it will supply the dorsal surface of the foot. Now this dorsalis pedis artery further, write down, it will cross over the dorsal surface and will enter the sole of foot and enters sole of foot to become, write down, to form, not to become, to form deep plantar arc. What it will form? Deep plantar arc. Okay. Further, this posterior tibial artery, it enters tarsal canal, and it will enter tarsal canal or tarsal tunnel along with tibial nerve. Along with which nerve? Along with tibial nerve. This tarsal canal also we will be doing in a separate video. Okay. And divide into two. It will divide into two. So, is dividing into lateral plantar artery because it is going into your sole of the foot. So, plantar surface. Okay. And medial plantar artery. Okay. Now, this lateral plantar artery and deep plantar arc anastomosis. So, write down, anastomosis means they will meet each other. So, they will anastomose over here. That was all about the arterial supply of our lower leg. I'll revise this one more time, a quick revision. Okay, so pay attention. The abdominal aorta will turn into common iliac artery. This common iliac artery will give off two branches, that is external iliac artery and internal iliac artery. Now we are talking about external iliac artery because this is the artery which will be supplying our lower limb. Okay, so external iliac artery, once it will cross the inguinal ligament, it will turn into femoral artery. Okay, this femoral artery will enter into the femoral triangle and give a branch which is known as deep femoral artery. And this branch is also known as deep thigh artery. So if there's any problem with the femoral artery, the blood supply of the lower limb will be maintained by deep thigh artery or deep femoral artery. Okay, the femoral artery further will go into the adductor canal, which will end at the adductor hiatus. Okay, from the adductor hiatus, it will go into the posterior compartment or posterior surface of the leg, and into the popliteal fossa. It will turn into popliteal artery. Then this popliteal artery will further give two branches. Okay, the first is anterior tibial artery. So popliteal artery will give a branch which will enter into anterior surface of the leg and it will be known as anterior tibial artery. On the posterior side, it will form the tibio-peroneal trunk, which will further divide into posterior tibial artery and peroneal artery. Peroneal artery can also be called as tubular artery. The peroneal artery, it will supply the lateral compartment. The posterior tibial artery, it will supply the posterior compartment. The anterior tibial artery will supply the anterior compartment of the lower leg. This anterior tibial artery will further descend down to become the dorsalis pedis artery in your foot. Now this dorsalis pedis artery will supply the dorsal surface of the foot. Okay, then it will cross over and enter your sole of the foot and form the deep plantar arc. Okay, and this posterior tibial artery further will descend into the tarsal canal along with the tibial nerve and divide into two plantar arteries. One is lateral plantar artery and another is medial plantar artery. The lateral plantar artery, which is the branch of the posterior tibial artery, will anastomose with the deep plantar arc which was formed by the dorsalis pedis artery. Okay, so that's all about the lower limb arterial supply. Okay, now there are some places where you can palpate few of the arteries which I have mentioned here. So let's know about these. So write down palpable points. Write down the heading as palpable points. So the first artery is femoral artery. What it is? Femoral artery. Now this femoral artery can be palpated at mid-inguinal point. Where it can be palpated at mid-inguinal point. The exact middle of the inguinal ligament is called as mid-inguinal point. Okay. The second artery is popliteal artery. Now it is hard to palpate, but still it is possible. Okay. So popliteal artery, write down. It can be palpated at popliteal fossa. Okay. So that is behind your knee joint. Okay. Now the third artery which you can palpate is dorsalis pedis artery. Which artery? Dorsalis pedis artery. You can palpate this artery at dorsum of the foot. Okay, so at dorsal surface of foot. But exactly where? Exactly, write down. Just lateral to extensor hallucis. Extensor hallucis longus tendon. Now what was extensor hallucis muscle? Do you remember? Hallucis means big toe. So the muscle which was running from your knee joint to your big toe. Okay, now where is this place? Look at this picture. You can see this protruded or visible prominent tendon which you can see, that is extensor hallucis longus. Just lateral to it you will be able to palpate the dorsalis pedis artery. Okay, so these were the 3 arteries which can be palpated in your lower limb. Okay, now lastly let's look at the arteries and revise them one more through this picture. Okay, so you can see in this picture the common iliac artery, which is divided into external iliac artery and internal iliac artery. Okay, and here is the inguinal ligament. If it's visible, this is the inguinal ligament which will run from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. Okay, just as it crosses the external iliac artery will cross this inguinal ligament, we call this as femoral artery. So this which you're seeing, it's femoral artery. Okay, now this femoral artery, you can see at the femoral triangle, it will give off the branch deep femoral artery, which is also known as deep thigh artery. Okay, this femoral artery, as you can see, it is running posteriorly. If it's visible to you, you can see the shadowed artery. Okay, because it is running behind the femur bone. So further, when it comes to this place, this is the popliteal fossa. What it is? Popliteal fossa. Here it is becoming the popliteal artery. So here which you see the shadowed portion, this is becoming the popliteal artery. You can see 2 branches coming out of it, right? These 2 branches are the anterior tibial artery. See, you can see this anterior tibial artery, okay, which is coming at the anterior side, and you can still see the 2 shadow arteries. These 2 shadow arteries are present at the posterior side. One is the posterior tibial artery and one is the fibular artery. Fibular artery is also known as which artery? The peroneal artery. Okay. Further, you can see this anterior tibial artery is coming at the dorsal of the foot, right? I told you to remember what is the dorsal of the foot and what is the plantar surface of the foot. So this is coming into your dorsal of the foot and becoming dorsalis pedis artery. Okay, now this dorsalis pedis artery forms the dorsal arc, and then further it will go inside into the sole of the foot. Where it will go? It will go inside the sole of the foot, form the deep plantar arc. Posteriorly, if you look at, see, this is the femoral artery which was running posteriorly. Then it became the popliteal artery at the popliteal fossa. Then it got divided into 2. This anterior branch will go to the anterior surface and become anterior tibial artery. Posteriorly, it will be divided into 2. That is peroneal artery and the posterior tibial artery, right? Peroneal artery, you can see it is given one more name, that is fibular artery. Okay, this posterior tibial artery will pass through the tarsal tunnel or tarsal canal and will give lateral and medial plantar artery, which will form the plantar arc. Among this, the lateral plantar arc will anastomose with the dorsal arc. Okay, so I hope everything is clear with this picture also, and my explanation was also clear to you. So arterial supply is done. Thank you.